What's up, everybody? This is John with Archer Film. All right, just finished House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 5. All right, I wasn't really going to go into every single episode, but I kind of think it warrants it. The last few episodes have been really good. Second season, I think, is fantastic, better than the first. I do have my problem. This was my problem with the first season. Now, I couldn't get a grasp on what the theme was, what they were trying to say. And nothing is more boring than the idea of, the realm won't let or accept women as their leaders and rulers. It's just boring to me. It just reeks of sort of modern day patriarchy, and the whole sort of woke theme, which seemed to, for a stretch there, was invading every single piece of media that was fed to us. And I just reject it wholeheartedly. It's not that can't be told effectively or interestingly. It's just usually it isn't. Like Barbie, although it's a comedy, like it was so over the top and confusing as to what it was trying to say that it was just plain stupid much of the time. So that's what I had a problem with for House of the Dragon Season 1. It was very clear that they were kind of fighting like what they were trying to say and the message they were trying to send. Now, Game of Thrones had this issue too. Now, the creators started listening to too much of the feedback, and a lot of it was full frontal nudity, degrading of women, nudity for women, all this stuff. And of course, as soon as that goes on, then they start doing full frontal male nudity, and they start limiting the female nudity altogether. Not completely, but you saw this switch. Now, so far with House of the Dragon, I don't even know if I saw. The only female nudity I've seen was in the brothel. But of course, there's male frontal nudity of one of the main characters. So there's not a lot of female nudity. There's not a lot of sex. But we get to see male frontal nudity. And I feel like that is this rejection of, female frontal nudity and this, female gaze sort of thing, I guess. I don't know. I just think it's a response, and I just think that's lazy. The other thing, too, is, I get it, the Targaryens are all a little bit crazy, that they all have this sort of madness. That's kind of the whole thing with them, because they're all inbred. But there's, I'm searching for any males that have strength and power in this show that aren't either crazy or, homicidal or, sociopaths. Now, I guess, the one son, I don't know his name. I'm so bad with all of the names. But it's Rhaenyra's son. He's cool. He seems like he's smart. He's riding a dragon, all this stuff, and he's not so weak or mad or any of those things. And of course, with Daemon, he's going crazy. And there's nothing worse than hallucinations in a show or flashbacks in a show. Let's have him make decisions. Don't stick him in Harrenhal and have him have flashbacks constantly or get confused when people are talking to him. This is a powerful man. He's, one of the heirs to the throne. He's very powerful and he's strong and he's a little bit crazy and aggressive. And we want him to do stuff. Why is he in Harrenhal going crazy in this like a self-imposed exile almost? And it doesn't make sense to me. I want him out in the world doing shit, I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. Now that he's there, he just seems to be completely impotent, and that drives me nuts. And of course there's, Christian, and he's kind of a dick and he's lying, and I just don't trust that guy. The one-eyed prince as well, and you're obviously he's messed up and he's a little power hungry. But anyway, in this episode, it was kind of cool when the small council was who's going to be, the new king regent or whatever. And he just sat there quietly while the queen made a case for herself, and everyone just quietly said, no, it should be him. It should be him. That was kind of a cool scene because he just kept his mouth shut because he kind of knew, that was really cool. And then the ending, after the prince comes back from the twins, and the phrase, talking to the phrase, and they're talking about how they're going to win the war and all this stuff. And he's like, well, we got a couple extra dragons, and they're trying to figure out like who's going to ride them. They don't have enough riders. And then they start talking about, well, we have other people with our blood further down the line that might be able to, and it's in this records here. And they look up, and there's a giant bookcase of records. That was kind of cool. I like that. I like that moment. That means like they're gonna have to bring new people in to ride more dragons. And honestly, I love the political intrigue and all the backstabbing and all the people working angles. That stuff is really fun and interesting and cool. But I'll tell you what, the reason you're watching this show and the reason I'm watching this show is to watch dragons fighting each other. And now if they can get more dragons, I mean, come on, imagine a season like penultimate climax episode where there's like multiple dragons fighting each other. And I'm talking like 5, 6 dragons, because I think there was 12 somebody counted, and then we lost 2, so 10 dragons in the sky fighting each other. How badass would that be? And of course, the queen now lamenting that, she's not riding a dragon fighting, which is what she needs to be doing. Oh man, it's gonna be cool. I feel like a giant showdown, and with Daemon, we don't know where he's coming from, but it feels like there's going to be a lot of people riding dragons at some point. Maybe not this season, but it's coming because they're setting that up, and that's what we want to see. All right, that is it. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next video.